David Blacker here. I put together this 2-chorus solo based on kind of swinging the blues ideas, heavily inspired by Duke Robillard. Some very specific Duke passages I've been working on lately that have been opened up a lot of doors for me, and I wanted to share them. We're going to look at things like chromatic ideas. We're going to look at targeting key chord tones on the changes, and we're going to look at a whole host of kind of jazz, blues, swing blues ideas as they apply to a 12-bar progression. I'm going to break down solo 1. It's based off the intro segment that I played at the beginning of the video. The lesson encompasses those 2 solos, but I'll break down solo 1 here. If you're interested in the tab and the full 2-chorus lesson with both breakdowns and the interactive tab player that you can slow down, loop a section, all that good stuff, that's available on my site, but we'll go through the first solo right here, right now. So this stuff was really instrumental in opening up like chromatic lines for me and jazz blues ideas, and just, can't get enough Duke Robillard when you're studying this style, so I hope you enjoy it. And any questions, comments, feel free to hit me up. All right, let's jump right in. All right, cool. So we start off in the key of B flat, and we start off with a classic swing style pickup. Right? 5 of B flat being F, the 6 of B flat being G on the 5th fret of the D string, into the root on the downbeat of the 1. Okay? And just a word about fingerings. I tend to play without stretching. So these are 3-note stretches, right? 3 fret stretches. And some players will sort of play more in a major scale style fingering. I tend to move my hand in and out of position for these types of riffs. Although I will at times adopt that major scale fingering. So it's just something to be aware of as you're learning this style, that there's a way to stretch and play, or there's a way to move in and out of position. On this riff, I'm moving my hand to accommodate the riff so that I'm not stretched and I'm set up for the next riff. So that's just a little digression, different ways to play. All right, so we go. And then we have a nice little chromatic run into the major third. So real note targeting going on there, right? Note targeting because we're landing on the downbeat on the 1, on the B flat note for the 1, really, real strong entrance. And then in the next sequence, we're walking into the major third from the 9 or the 2. Play the 2, flat 3, and slide into the major third. And then, sort of as we're sort of outlining a 4-chord change, or to my ear it sounds that way, we have this riff. Right? And what that is we play, after we resolve that root, after that chromatic walk, we have what would be the dominant 7 of the 4 chord, and we go major 7 to the root of the 4 chord. So we do the dominant 7 and then a hammer on from the major 7 to the root, and then a slide. So it's a hammer on and then a slide, which is cool. Right? It happens quick. It's a little cooler than, and basically it has this chromatic action too. Last note not being chromatic, but we're just not playing it so straight. We're playing. So let's do that much so far. Okay, then we come back after that note, we come back here to the 6th fret of the B, and then we have, if we're still thinking of the 4 chord, or E flat, we have a flat 9 to the root, and a trill from the 7 to the root to the 7, flat 7. So here we go, from the, one more time. Okay, so here's the whole bit so far. Right? So we're avoiding that major third. If we're thinking relative to the 1 chord, we're staying away from that D note there, because we're kind of spelling out gradations of a E flat 7 or a E flat 7 flat 9. So a lot of chromaticism so far, right? We got chromaticism here, and then chromaticism there. And then the last part of this riff goes. So we have root to the 4. So we're thinking back on the 1 chord now, back on B flat. Hammer on flat 3rd to major 3rd. Root, 5, 6. And then a great little 2-note voicing there, which is a great 2-note voicing. You can, for comping, you can use this over the 1, 4, and 5 chords. Just move it down a half step, and even up whole step, right? Because it's basically, here it's playing as a dominant 7 with a major 3rd on top. Here it's playing as the major 3rd of the 4 with the 7 on top. Anyway, little digression. So we have, right? So let's take it from this whole little chromatic, the 2nd chromatic line of the piece. And then we extend this chord out so that it's becomes like a 13 with the 9 on top, that C note on top, and we play the bass note and then the top half of the chord, and we go from to a E9, the top half of the E9, and then we slide into it again from a half step below, and then we slide up and then back into the top half of an E flat 9. So here's the whole back half of this riff. Here it is one time. Oh, sorry, let me take it from the chromatic walk up. Right into that 4 chord. A lot of nice motion and note targeting there. Voice leading, you know, into that 4 chord. And then we have, okay, great riff outlining a lot of these key elements over the 4, the flat 9 we get in there, right? Some real key sounds. So we have the 5 of the 4 chord being the B flat, to the D flat, to the E flat, and then we have that slide from the flat 9 to the 9, and then a trill. Great sound there for the trill from the flat 9 to the flat 9. And instead of just going, we add a little quick trill there, right? Very common, and you hear this a lot in like Duke's playing and stuff. It's a really nice kind of keeps it interesting and not so predictable. Okay, now we're targeting coming back to the one chord with this nice more chromaticism, right? Really jazzing up the blues here. So we back on the 7th measure where we slide into the major third of the 1, grab the 6th, trill from the 5 to the 6th. Sorry about that. Trill from the 5 to the 6th. Grab the root to the 4. Flat third, major third, flat third, 2, and then flat 9 into the 1. Here it is again. Okay, now we've seen this chromatic move in reverse in the intro, right? And now we have a chromatic line descending from the major third, flat third, 2, flat 9, or flat 2, 1. And this really does require, like stretching would be really kind of hard there for me. So I come in and out of position with my hand, or I move my hand to accommodate that riff. And then we have leading us into the 2-5-1. So let me refresh where we are. So after we end our descending chromatic riff there, and really file that chromatic riff away. We're going to talk about it more in the second half of this lesson, because it's a great chromatic passage. We go, there's that riff from the beginning, 5 to the 6, back to the 5, and then we grab the major 7, and we walk down from the 5 to the flat 5 to the 4, which is an E flat, which is also smack on the downbeat of our 2-5-1, and it's the minor third of the 2. Right? Perfect note targeting, perfectly spells out that minor 2 with the flat third there. And then we have this quick little kind of out-sounding thing, but it's leading us right into a chord tone. So what is that? We're on the downbeat of the 2 chord. We pick up the 5th fret of the D string, which is the 5 of the 2. It's a G. There's the minor third of the 2, which is E flat, and then we're grabbing this note, which is the the major 7 of the 2, which is really kind of out sounding, or it's just a half step approach. And then we do a arpeggio that basically outlines a minor 2 chord. So here, let's look at that again. Okay, so C, E flat, minor third, 5 is the G note, 7 right there, perfect C7 arpeggio. And then we have for the 5, so we just did 2, now we're into 5, about to resolve. We have a hammer-on from the flat third of the 5, so an A flat to an A being the major third of the 5 chord, F, to the 5 of the 5 chord. So we're now thinking relative to F, so A, C, E flat, which is the 7, and then we have this nice, so with F we're doing a a flat 9, sharp 9 riff. Okay, to the root of the to an F note, for F7. So we land right on the flat 9 to give it that real, flat 9 kind of tension building sound. And then we have a series of pull-up from the sharp 9, flat 9, tonic. And then we go from the 7 to the 6, and then to the root of B flat, because at that point we're back. So here's the whole turnaround, okay? 1, 2. Well, actually, we just kind of. And that's where we left off, right there. And then we have. Okay, and that's just, we're over the 1 now, we're over a B flat chord. So we're just playing the 5 on the bottom, and then 5 on the top, and 5 on the bottom, different octaves. And then we have a trill from the 6th to the dominant 7 to the 6th. And then from the sharp 5 to the 6, right? And concluding on the A note, which sets up the B flat 1 perfectly. So let's review the 2-5-1 turnaround one more time, and we'll take it just from where it lands on the downbeat of the 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, if you like that, I encourage you to check out the rest of the lesson. Link below this video on my site. It's been fun.